In this video, I will be building the biggest, greatest video game console company in the world. I mean, in the best business sim called Capitalism Lab, which has recently been updated to version 12.0. My definitely not Sony game company, Phony, will be the #1 game company in market share by 2026. And it is my ultimatum that we will make consoles that will still use discs. I'm going to be playing through a custom game without any of the DLCs available. I want to focus on the core Capitalism Lab experience. I will be starting from 1990 and I'll just stick with the default starting capital and such. But I'll nerf the AIs a little bit because I find them to be pretty darn aggressive. Starting in 1990, I'll need to research video game consoles and handheld game consoles. Those don't exist yet, apparently. So I don't want to just research these two products for years before making any money, so I'll focus on selling computers. Let's start with selling desktops. Now, in terms of a starting city, I want a good quality of life, which is an indication of their wage level, and a large enough population. So I'll begin in Copenhagen. I'll build my own silica mine here. This is going to be expensive, but I'm going to buy the other resources to make desktop computers from a seaport. That is quite far, unfortunately. The whole production chain of computers is pretty complex. I will need electronic components which are manufactured from chemical materials, steel and silicon, so that requires a separate factory. So I'm not going to do that right now. Let's just get to the making CPUs and just buying the rest of what's needed. The desktop's price would be a bit expensive. Also, the seaport in Copenhagen is also importing desktops. So yeah, I think some competitor is going to sell this here. I'm going to change my branding strategy to corporate, so there is one Phony brand for all products, one brand to rule them all. I'll also sell other electrical products at my retail store to maximize the store's profits, of course. So the difference with the other branding strategies, a unique brand means each product is its own brand. Category is each product category is its own brand. That is quite self-explanatory really, but the advantage is the brand rating of one product may affect the other products if you use something like corporate brand strategy. So there's a risk that one bad product with poor quality may drag down my overall brand rating. But it's a risk I'm willing to put up with for the sake of simplifying branding and marketing. I need to get my R&D up as I need to research video game consoles and handheld consoles, which will take 6+ years. And of course, I'm researching to improve the quality of CPUs and desktop computers I produce. Okay, now I'm in the red, and hopefully I'll get back into the green in a year's time. We are in the green and making a healthy profit, and I'm very tempted to expand into the other cities. To get a foot in those cities and spread the Phony brand across the world. Well, in the world with 4 cities. So I'll build a warehouse in Copenhagen to store the desktop computers and department stores in all the cities. Now from this screen, you can see how our corporation is doing at a glance. And yes, the profits are skyrocketing. But market share for desktops in these 2 cities are 0. Okay, it just took some time to get enough stock to sell in Recife, but Yanzhou has 0 sales despite having the stock they need. Perhaps it's a bit too expensive for them. I'm dropping the price of desktops in Yanzhou below 1k, and yeah, that seems to have worked. 1995 and we are making a very healthy profit, and I'm close to being done with the video game console research. I think it's fair to say we are a pretty big deal. We are a global corporation, but without a headquarters. So let's fix that. The HQ is an important building for one reason. You can pay yourself some of that sweet money your company makes in the form of a salary. I'll pay myself 1.2 mil in annual salary, which really isn't much if you compare to what real life CEOs earn. There are other departments you can set up that will let you automate those parts of your business. I do like having a chief marketing officer who can handle all the marketing stuff, which I'm pretty sure they do a splendid job marketing my brand. HR for setting up training for my entire organization, a chief technology officer to manage R&D, just to name a few. We now have the technology to manufacture video game consoles and handheld game consoles. I need a new factory to make and sell those. Let's start with a large factory for video game consoles. I just realized I was manufacturing my CPU in the factory that makes desktop computers, so I can't purchase my own CPUs to be used in the new factory. It's probably not as efficient doing it this way, but I'll have another manufacturing process in the large factory producing CPUs just for the video game console. Also, I realized there's a C-port selling CPUs now, so I think we can expect competing firms to start selling video game consoles in the near future as our video game console gains a huge lead in the market. Okay, I've set up both console manufacturing and sales, and I'm taking a huge hit on profits, dropping those goods I sold from the C-port to sell more of a niche product that's new in the market isn't exactly good for your bottom line in the short term. Go figure. A couple of things I don't like. I want to develop one CPU and research CPU technology. If you look at this manufacturer's guide screen here, you will find that the CPU is a big percentage of the quality of the finished product. 30% for desktops and 25% for consoles. So improving the quality and manufacturing process of the CPU will have a significant impact on the end product. Also, I want to split R&D into two research centers, have more units researching CPU and desktop in one, while the other one focuses on the consoles, my game division research. It's going to increase my costs overall, I guess, but in the long run, we'll have a bigger lead on the quality of my end product. That's at least a theory. And yeah, I'm taking a big loss for now, but things should even out eventually. We are getting close to break even. While our market share seems to have dropped, there are no competitors selling video game consoles yet. We shall see how things are in 5 years' time. Maybe brand loyalty will play a bigger role. Oh, look here. Someone wants to buy my video game console technology. Now, this is quite common in Capitalism Lab. You will get offers like this if you have a head start in a technology. I'm not going to sell it because which video game company sold their tech, right? We are going to keep growing our market dominance rather than opening the gates to new competitors. It's 2006 and we have no competitors, but despite this, our stock is pretty damn cheap. And our CEO, Nathan Drake, has 8 million in the bank. That's a lot of hard work as a CEO, so it's only fair to earn that much. Again, we are not focusing on mass market goods here as much as the other competing brands, I suppose. But our operating profits are rather thin. Some months in the red, but generally around $500,000 to $1 million a month. I could just accelerate the game now, but let's make it more interesting and not make my CPU research go to waste. So let's research new products like smartphones that no one has invented yet. So we shall maximize the usage of our CPUs. It seems I can't actually research smartphones yet because I need the prerequisite tech for camera phones. So I'll research that first, but I don't think I will sell them though. We'll check back in 10 years time and see how Phony is doing then. It's 2016 and we are in the red, losing about 3 million annually because I opened a second store only selling notebooks. Probably a bit too expensive to be the only thing I sell in my second department store in every city. We won't be able to sell smartphones by 2026. The research will take 11 years to complete, even with two R&D centers researching it. So, okay, I'll close one eye here and start selling other products to fully utilize the new retail store. The least I could do was to turn this thing around and earn a profit. It seems like actually the research for smartphones is done earlier, and I have about 1 year to sell it to market before 2026. Let's see if this makes a huge difference. We've reached 2026, and yes, selling groceries and stuff, fully utilizing the retail stores, it does increase profit significantly. While we are the number one video game console company and handheld and desktop computers, we are number two in notebook computers, which we entered this market a little late. Market share is still low though. There's absolutely zero loyalty. What the hell was my CMO doing, really? Anyway, what I can do now is perhaps experiment by making my console free, I guess. Will that make everyone get one? We'll price it at 1 cent. Apparently, I can't set it to 0. 1 cent is as good as free. Okay, I think I may have broken the game. A 1 cent console doesn't increase sales, only in Yanzhou, which I think since they have lower purchasing power, it reads this move as a lower price point, which causes demand to grow there, but not in the other cities. So no, I don't think you can artificially inflate your market share by pricing things at ridiculous prices like 1 cent. But I do think I kind of ruined the marketing of the console. My CMO did a terrible job. I don't think I had advertisements for the console itself. If I spent a bit more focus and time building better customer loyalty by looking at exactly what ads were being bought or where was I advertising it, I think we could have got a way bigger slice of the pie. But that's Capitalism Lab. You learn something in every playthrough. I hope you enjoyed this little preview of Capitalism Lab. If you like to check it out for yourself, you can purchase it from the developer's website. I've put a link in the description below. Thank you Enlight Software for sponsoring this video. I have another video where I will explain a bit more about the DLCs for this game. The DLCs actually add a different flavor to the game. It's a unique way of approaching new content. I'll have that video out sometime in September. If you'd like me to try out a more challenging playthrough with much tougher AI, tell me in the comments below. It would be more like a survival run in a Capitalism Lab. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching. Until next time, farewell friends.